welcome to Taste and See. I'm really excited about what we're doing today.
Yep.
Because we have a special guest. He doesn't feel like a guest. He's more like family.
Aww.
But if I could describe our guest before you see him, true Renaissance man.
Yes.
True Renaissance man.
Yes.
Our conversations can go from local politics to the realms of the spirit to interdimensional travel to Star Wars to Pocahontas. I mean, we can go
all those places.
all of the above, and he has got information on all of it. So I was excited to get him to join us and spend some time with our good friend and the owner of Steelhouse Coffee, Mr. Joe Steele.
Thank you, guys.
This is where we get the applause and
Audience applause.
cowbell.
And then everybody turns it off. They're like,
Yeah,
Cowbell.
who's this guy? So, Joe.
Yeah.
I am interested in your backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you came to faith.
Sure.
And then we're going to get into crazy supernatural stuff.
I'm down.
If you're watching, and we've been talking a lot about spirit, soul, body, and just kind of doing some teaching, this is going to be like jumping in the deep end.
Yep.
And you go, a snorkel's not going to cut it here. I need an oxygen tank. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is
Okay.
you
Story
telling the
time.
story
Nice.
Got it.
that most people can't handle.
Okay.
Because it's way out of their purview. They can't handle it. We love it because we've experienced so much supernatural stuff that we're like, yeah, that's possible. And yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
In fact, I've told the story about talking to a tree. That's a direct result of a story you told me. And we had a conversation about it.
Yep.
And I said, you know what, God, if you did it for Joe, you can do it for me.
Absolutely.
And had the wildest interaction with the tree.
It's very bizarre. It's very bizarre.
So take us back.
I'll take you all the way back. Back.
Where'd you grow up?
So I grew up.
Vape?
Yeah. So I grew up in a small town called Rio Oso. My parents left San Francisco in the 70s because it was going to hell.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Still is.
I was like, okay. So my parents were serving at a church in Sacramento, and then they were helping out at a church in Lincoln. So most of my life growing up was in the church.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of the few that stayed in the church and hasn't left.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So my faith is actually very, very old and very established in that. So I'll go back to when my mother announced that she was pregnant. She told the pastor, and the pastor was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So they went to pray for her. Well, one of the people on the prayer team was a witch.
Oh.
They didn't
there
know
you go.
about. She laid her hands on her belly and said,
Whoa.
the baby's dead. And my mother felt lightning shoot through her body
Whoa.
and instantly started bleeding.
Whoa.
So then she goes to the hospital, and the doctor's like, oh yeah, the baby is okay, but it looks like your child is going to be born with a high form of autism. You should abort the baby.
Mm.
Whoa.
So then my parents
Wow.
said, well, we don't believe in that. We believe in God.
Good.
And God is going to be the judge on the situation.
Wow.
So then my mom they're like, well, if you're going to keep him, the only way is for you to not bleed out is you have to stay in bed. So she tells me my mom said it's about 7 to 8 months. She was laying in bed,
Wow.
hand on belly, praying over me,
Wow.
Okay.
Oh
right?
my
To break
goodness.
curse. So
Yes.
spiritual warfare is my life.
Right.
Right.
It
Started
literally moment
Wow.
of conception.
Right.
It was like,
Wow.
okay, yeah, you're getting taken out. So from that moment, I remember when I was born, I was able to see in the spirit very vividly. I would have
Mhm.
spiritual dreams. I could see in the spirit. I could hear in the spirit. And that led to some very interesting interactions when I realized around 6, nobody else can see what I see.
Yeah.
Nobody else can hear what I hear.
Right.
Right.
So when it comes to the moment when I gave my life, was like, Jesus, you're my path.
Yeah.
I was 4.
Wow.
My mom was up at 3 a.m.
Wait, that's impossible because you can't make an adult decision to follow Jesus.
I remember the moment.
I know.
vividly, right?
Right.
Yeah, and this is where I start running into.
Sorry, just went into some dogma of the religious system.
This is where I run into a lot of my issues with certain orthodoxy is because of that. Because of my own personal encounters,
Yeah.
it instantly goes, that's not God.
Right.
That's not the God that I've experienced.
Mm.
But I'm not going to condemn you for the experiences that you've had.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to love you and go, oh, that's fine. We can agree to disagree, but this is my life. And
Right.
we're not going to debate all day. Right. So at 4, I remember my mom,
Mm.
so she used to wake up. We lived in a self-sufficient farm. So waking up, I remember even being 4, waking up, checking the eggs, getting the eggs, feeding the chickens,
Right.
watering. Like that was it.
Yeah.
That was life. Homeschooling that's what we did.
Dude, how did that happen? Because I can't get my 18-year-old to take care of her chickens.
Well, everybody did it. The whole
Everybody
family.
did it.
Dad was
Right.
up, mom was up, everybody did it, and breakfast was coming. And unless you were sick, you were out working. It's
Yeah.
just how it worked.
Yeah.
So we all have really good work ethic because of that.
Yeah.
And when you're used to it,
Right.
get your chores done. Why? So then you have the rest of the day. And you understood overcoming things. So homeschool. Hey, we literally did our chores till 8, homeschool till 10, and then we had the rest of the day.
Oh, it's a good
Yeah.
schedule.
But then if you didn't do your homeschool and you fought it, you were sitting there for 4 hours and then you were seeing your siblings play. And
yeah,
right.
you learn pretty quick.
Yeah. So my mom, she's a prayer warrior. She's been praying
Yes.
forever.
Your mom is
Amazing.
amazing.
I
Yeah.
love her. But she's been getting up at 3 a.m. praying forever.
Wow.
I remember many times we had a big heater. She'd wake up, she would open up a concordance and she would have that with the Bible and God would be talking to her and she would just be reading.
Mhm.
And I would sit with her. And I didn't know what to say. I would just sit with her and I'd pray because I was waking up at the night, seeing things in my room, seeing
Yeah.
things coming in.
Yeah.
You having those encounters, that is how most people go crazy because
Right.
they don't know how to explain it. And so,
Right.
I mean, at a young age, I would ask, why is this happening?
Mm.
Is this happening? Why am I seeing eyes staring at me in my room?
Mhm.
Well, no, that's your imagination. It's not.
Right.
Mhm.
Why does it have the face of my grandpa that I've never, like, I don't have a relationship with?
Mm.
Stuff like that. And you
Yeah,
start asking those questions.
Yep.
The parents go, we don't know. Right. And it leads you into that place. So I was 4 years old. My mom, she was reading her Bible. And I remember sitting there and I just felt just this warmth, just everything. And it was just, and I kept hearing, I've always heard God's voice. And so this was hey, we've been talking for a while. I'm
Mhm.
4. So
Right.
it's hard for people to grasp that. It's like, no, it was like a regular conversation. It's like, hey, we've been talking for a while. And at this point, I want you to dedicate your life. Will you dedicate your
Wow.
life to me? Yes, I would love to.
Yeah.
Because at that point, the only soothing comfort I had from all the demonic stuff I was seeing was moments when I would get peace and I would hear God go,
Mm.
I've got you, you're okay.
Wow.
Wow.
And so what it changed is it transforms. So when people are like, I really want peace, I'm all, and I see them spazzing. I'm like,
Yeah.
Mm.
that's not what that means.
Right.
You don't understand what you're asking for. You're asking for total surrender,
Mm.
total submission,
Yes.
and God just really embracing that.
Yes.
So that was
Wow.
4. So I went through my own stupid orthodoxy. I started challenging stuff. I think by the age of 10, I started realizing religion was a load of malarkey. But I also realized that if I manipulate people, I can get what I want.
Mm.
And so from 10
Okay.
to 17, I played the game and was everybody's favorite, but also could feel God leaving
Mm. Yeah.
where I was just like,
Right.
I would go in and smile and everybody knew me. And I would say hi to every single person,
Right.
but I knew that I was doing it for clout.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
It
Yep.
wasn't from
Right.
joy of the Lord. It was from I know that one day I could be in your position.
Right. Right.
And my sight went from experiences with God to,
Mm.
I really want to be a pastor. I want to be this. I want to be this.
Right.
And that was because I was so limited in my understanding. I didn't know.
yeah. Who doesn't at
Right.
that age? Right.
No. And so I was 10 when I went, God, I don't want to see in the spirit anymore. I
Mm.
said, I'm done. Because there would be nights I was literally being chased by demonic things
Mm.
in the hallway of my house. And I was like, I just don't know what to do.
Right.
And I literally heard a voice say, ask to not see us and we'll leave you alone. And I'm like, done.
Right.
That's
quick.
what it takes.
Right.
Yeah.
Done.
Were you a sleepwalker as well?
No,
See, I was a sleepwalker growing up.
really?
Yeah. And I remember very vividly seeing demonic entities.
Yep.
Even while I'm sleepwalking
Mm.
and then being woke up, which they say don't do, but
Yeah.
they would.
Yeah.
And then I'm just kind of jarred back into this reality
Sure.
and going, whoa, how was I able to get my body out of bed,
Sure.
wind up, in my chonies,
Yeah.
trying to get out the front door because I saw something in my room
Mm.
that scared me enough that I'm like, I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. Absolutely.
Right. And I took my body with me. Right.
100%.
So-
100%. Well, and the hard part was too, I'd go over to friends' houses and stay the night and they would watch a scary movie and I would literally see the spirit of fear with hands trying to grab them and
From the TV?
from the TV. And I would sit there and I was just like, and I would praying in tongues
Yeah.
at like 8 going, I'm not letting you grab me.
Right.
And then staying the night at people's houses, I would all of a sudden, I'd see them, they would sleep through the night, but I would see this thing literally suffocating with fear.
Ooh.
And then I would see entities coming in through the doorway with a sleep paralysis thing of like, oh, yeah, well, I experienced that anytime I would go to a friend's house because there was no protection. My mother praying all the time.
Right.
I started really putting causation and correlation pretty quick.
Right.
Yes.
I was like, hey, do you guys pray over meals?
It's not going to
It's
cut
not
it.
a safe environment.
It's not going to cut it.
Is that why there was a demon
Yeah.
last night?
Right,
'Cause that
right.
thing sucks.
Right. It wasn't one on my macaroni and cheese, but you know,
Right.
the rest of the house is consumed.
The-
No, they bless
Fine.
the hands so that you're good. The rest of the body we don't
Right,
care
right,
about,
right.
but the hands were
Right.
taken
Hands
care
are
of.
good.
Yes, I prepared it.
That reminds me of Jill Austin. You know, I remember
Yes.
when she was here and she's moved on and she's part of the great cloud of witnesses now.
Yeah.
But she was talking about how someone mentioned a movie or something. And she's like, I've never seen it. And they're like, oh, it's a great movie. She goes, I can't go to movie theaters.
Yeah.
Because I see the spirits
Coming through.
coming through the theater and grabbing people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy, right? So I pray when I go to the movies.
Yeah.
Man, I got the blood of the lamb. I'm wearing
100%.
my armor and I'm like, I don't care what you try to manipulate. You don't get to touch me, my people. You know, you do and you're in trouble.
Well, and it's a subversion of expectation. So when you're going into a place, you're coming into the music, everyone is agreeing on the same concept. So from the actors to the director to the script, they're all agreeing that this is the concept that everybody needs to have.
Right.
And so this is why I have an issue with certain horror films. I don't mind a suspense thriller of a bad guy.
Right.
I don't mind that at all.
Right.
But when it's horror,
Right.
Submitting myself, everybody from the music design is trying to manipulate you. And they don't even know that they're manipulating your spirit and soul so that you can be a slave to this thing. Because if something that you've seen pops up in your mind, it's got a soul tied to you. It's connected to you. And the spirit just uses that to always torment you.
Bro, I got to interject a story real quick.
Hit it.
I remember we were living in the Hayward Hills. The movie came out, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was basically a true story done on a shaky camera. What was the name of that movie?
Was it Blair Witch Project?
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
So after seeing the first Blair Witch Project, it was really freaky.
Yeah.
Right? And
oh, man.
We're newlyweds and woke up in the middle of the night and I heard a noise in our living room. And so I'm like, let's investigate. So I walk out to the living room. Boom. My whole living room is the last scene in the movie before the camera hits the ground. And it is happening right in front of me, all around me. And I'm just like freaked out. I'm frozen in fear for a second.
Wow.
And then it all comes back to my reality as I know it. And I was like, I'm going to bed. Right? And I remember laying in bed going, what was that?
Yep.
It was like I was transported on set and I was in that scene of the movie.
Absolutely.
And back then, you know, we were all about, you know, Father, Son, and Holy Scriptures.
Yep.
So I didn't think to pray and ask, you know, Holy Spirit, hey, what was that? What's the open door in me that allowed that to transpire in this moment?
100%.
I just thought, well, my unconscious mind remembers that scene from the movie and it was pretty dramatic. And
as soon as you
just
can
replay
justify it away, it is more important.
Yeah.
Because the devil really wants you to think that it is important so he can hold on to that.
Yeah.
And then if it just keeps popping up, like if you have offense towards somebody and you're like, man, every time I see that person, this thing.
Right.
That is the way for you to go, I think I need to forgive them. And that's for your benefit.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're okay with it. But I mean, and so I've seen that over and over and over again in the spirit where it pops up. Why is it popping up? Because it has a connection to you.
Yep.
You've given it permission somehow.
Yeah.
And that can be food. If you're craving something that you know you shouldn't have and you know it's going to hurt you, but you can't get away from it.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And I say that owning a coffee shop.
Right.
Right? Coffee. I do a 3-day fast once every couple months to make sure caffeine is not my addiction. I don't have a cup for the first 4 hours of being awoke.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it to be my master.
Right.
I want to live my life without it owning me.
Yeah.
And it's hard for people to understand that concept. It was like, no, it doesn't own me. I just can't live without it. Okay, what did you just say?
Right. What did you just say?
Right.
Which is funny. What the Holy Spirit told me that about alcohol.
Yeah.
A few years ago. He said, Drew, I don't mind you socially drinking.
Yeah.
But when you run to it for comfort, or you run to it for celebration, or you run to it for boredom,
absolutely.
Now you have an issue.
Absolutely.
So I often ask myself before I drink, why am I going to have this drink? Why am I going to have wine with my meal?
Yeah.
Well, because I like a good cab with my filet. So that's why we're doing it.
Well, and then there's also the health benefits. There's heart benefits and stuff. And so So I'll get back into the story trail because we can go. I know
we can go everywhere.
Rabbit
Yeah,
trail.
this is
Yes.
So I went through kind of a rebellious period where I just went, I know more than anybody else here because I was able to see in the spirit.
right.
But that
Yeah.
creates this pride, and pride comes before,
A
Right.
fall,
fall, which led me into a crazy,
which is like October.
Right.
Babe,
Sorry,
it's-
sorry, you bring that out of me.
it's June. That's actually when they do it right now.
Right.
So in that process, though, I went through it, and then what was surprising to people, which wasn't, I was addicted to pornography for 6 years. I found it when I was 12, and then I was addicted to it, and it became it didn't matter. This became, instead of God, it literally became, because when I was younger, if I saw something scary, it was like, oh, okay. If I had an experience, God. If I was mad, God, I give it to you. Anything, because I could see the spiritual connecting trying to grab me.
Right.
And then when all of a sudden I went, I know more. And then the spirit was like, fine, you know more.
You got this.
And then I denounced from that demonic entity going, give it up. And I went, fine, I give it up.
Right.
The next 6-7 years of my life, it may seem like, oh, you're a 17-year-old kid. Of course, that's normal.
Right. We all explain it away.
But it's,
boys will be
I
boys.
actively knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then I was finding ways of sneaking it and doing it. And in a prayerful house, my mother was just like, something's off in your room.
Right. I walk in your room, there's a darkness.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can't hide that. I remember trying to sneak out once, and my mom literally, like, I snuck out. I got home, thought I got away with it. My mom wakes up, or my mom the next day goes, hey, so how was the party? I went, what are you talking about? She goes, this is what you were wearing. This is when you left. This is when you came back. I went, how did you know that? She goes, I dreamt it. God showed me in a dream, wanted to know where you were.
Yeah.
So what happened? So going through all that, and then every week at that point, I kind of went in and fell into this standard every day I'm a sinner type of concept. And then I grabbed hold of the orthodoxy of Assemblies of God of, well, today's could be the last day and you're a sinner, and no matter what you do, you're going to die. So you need to make sure you're not a sinner. So then I went from supernatural, wow, God, you're awesome, to a slave to an actual doctrinal orthodoxy, and made that my master, because there were clear lines.
Yeah.
I get it when somebody goes, well, I'm going to be successful if I submit myself to this.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything has a payoff. Even satanically, if you submit yourself to something, it's going to go, by the way, here's the next step.
Right.
Here's the next step. But when you're in the spirit and God says, I just want you to trust me, it's so much harder.
Right.
When things are happening around you and you can't justify them, and it's spiritual, and so there's no conversation.
Right.
And rewind 25 years ago, was anybody really talking about the soul, the spirit? Was anybody talking about encounters in your sleep, going to heaven?
No.
So then you feel like you're in a microcosm.
Right.
And then with that addiction, holding my soul down, leaving an open door, all it was a cesspool of the devil just attacking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so I remember I was 17, and I went, God, I can't do this anymore. And it wasn't like I stopped loving God. It wasn't that I did, but I realized I was not who he created me to be, and I wasn't who I knew I was supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah.
True identity.
That's it.
And I went, God, this isn't okay. I'm loved by everybody that says your name. I hate myself.
Wow.
And I just went, God, I just give it to you. So I'm sitting in the back of the church, and it's absolutely empty. My mom was opening up, praying somewhere, doing something. I'm sitting in the back, no lights on. And I just said, 17, and I went, God, I just can't do this anymore. This hypocrisy that I think I'm living, this idea.
Now, the whole time you were still going to church?
Oh, yeah.
Still going to the meeting?
I was serving in all the ministries. I think by 17, I had a key to the church, and I was running 3 different ministries. I could quote the Bible better than most of the pastors.
Right.
Wow.
I knew it. This is not and this is where you start running into organized religion, creating organized religious slaves.
Yes.
And it's just the system.
Yeah.
People aren't doing it on purpose.
No.
But it's genuinely the system, which goes into the idea of, and I don't want to go all into that, but that goes into the spiritual concept of, get away from me, you evildoers of iniquity, for I never knew you.
Right.
It's the system that creates iniquity. It isn't creating life.
Right.
It's like, you healed the sick, you called out demons, you raised the dead,
Right.
get away from me.
Matthew 7.
That's where my soul was. I was existing in that scripture, not even realizing it.
Right.
And so when I finally went, God, I surrender all.
Yeah.
I did. And then all of a sudden I started doing music, and I started doing creative stuff, and And then the addiction just disappeared.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I started falling in love with God, and it just became a thing. Now I will tell you, I was still going to prayer meetings during the week. I was actually praying probably 8 hours, 10 hours a week, was reading the Bible daily because I wanted to be a good pastor one day. It was not about the relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
As an adult now, I can pray 5 minutes a day and be totally connected with God.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
I can open up the Bible and go,
Right.
oh, yeah, that's so good, and close and be like, thank you, God, for that.
Right.
And live my life.
Yeah.
And I feel closer now
Yep.
than doing all of the studios.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So, so going through all of that and I finished it up, and I was like, God, I don't know what to do with my life. So my parents were like, go to Bible college.
Yeah.
I went to Bible college, fell asleep through Bible college, passed all the classes with A's.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
all right,
I'm in touch with the Spirit. I got it.
got it. I literally was sleeping, and the guy's like, this is really hard class. I was like, okay. And I like read a report. He goes, who'd you cheat off? I was like, no one, man. I've read this scripture 1,000 times. I've had ideas.
Right,
on this.
right.
This isn't new.
Yeah.
And they weren't having that. But I also was clashing because I didn't want
that.
Right.
And so that kind of, God started challenging, what does it mean to feed my sheep? What does it mean to be a pastor, an evangelical? What does all that look like? It's because we itemize it so much. Jesus was the fulfillment of all of it.
Yes.
So I started asking those questions. And then that led me into kind of going, I never left a church in a bad way. I always went, hey, it's great. I love you. This is awesome.
Right.
God's calling me over here.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm just going to head over in this direction. And so I didn't realize how bad the orthodoxy was until I left that church, and I told the pastor, hey, he goes, where are you going to go? And I was like, I don't know. I'm looking at Church of Glad Tidings, because I was writing plays. We were doing acting. We were directing stuff. And I was like, I just feel like that's the natural gravitation is calling me here.
Yeah.
And I was
What year is this?
This was 12 years ago.
Okay.
So we're looking at 2013.
Okay.
About 2013, we're like, hey.
Yeah.
2013, 2012, me and my wife were married. We were like, we can't do this anymore. And we split. We split the church. She was like, you're here and everybody loves you. Nobody knows me. And because you didn't marry any of the women here that they thought you should marry, they hate me. And so I had to make a stance. Do I love my wife? Or do I love religion? And I went, I'm out, guys. I picked her.
Wife for sure.
So I've already gone through this existential crisis. Do I want to repeat it again? Nah, I'm good. And that's when I think it was closer to 2011. I think it's been 14 years. It's just kind of crazy.
Nice.
Wow.
And so I stayed at a place until God calls me out.
Yes.
And no matter whether I agree or disagree with the people, I mean, by the end of it, I disagreed with pretty much everything that was happening on the pulpit.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Right.
God still loves them just as much as he loves me.
Yeah.
Yes.
True
Right?
story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And if I'm going to church for my source, I shouldn't go to church.
Right.
I'll be real.
Right.
Right?
No, I'm with you, bro.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if I miss a service for whatever reason or some event, people are like, oh, you missed. I'm like, I'll listen to the recording and it'll feed me and I'll be good.
100%.
Because right now we're having church.
Exactly. No, it's precisely
Right?
Precisely.
Yes.
So I went through so after all that happened, I ended up working at the hospital. I got a job there. Regina's, it's technically her brother. Her parents passed when she was younger and she was raised by her siblings. So it's her brother-in-law, but I always called him father figure. Because that's who he was. It was like, you're not really father, but you're father figure. So really cool guy.
Yeah.
He hooked me up with a job at the hospital where I was an orderly. Which is fancy words for going all across the hospital and connecting people and making sure they got everything done and taking care of them. Like literally going, oh, that IV is about to rip out of your arm. Hold on. Let's make sure this is done properly.
Right.
Yeah.
To take care of them. So that was my job.
Which I can see you being very good at.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, it's my jam.
Yes.
I left it not because I liked it. I genuinely would like, today sucks. And I'd get there to talk with people. I was like,
you're in your happy place.
I like this.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I started seeing spiritual stuff again.
Oh.
And I think it was around 18, or when I finally went, God, I'm done with this. And, and I went through Bible college. There was a prophecy that happened. Now, you have to think, the church I was at was in Assemblies of God. They do not believe in deliverance. They do not believe in demons. They do not believe in supernatural realm. They only believe in praying in tongues.
Right.
And that to get to heaven, you have to die. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're a Pentecostal and you're listening to this, look it up.
Yeah.
That's your doctrine. And this is why I stopped going to it. I was like, God's pulling me in a path that's a little weirder than that. I can't really submit to that anymore. So when we were there at the hospital, all of a sudden I started seeing things, right? I started feeling things. And when I started coming to GT, I remember it was the first service was around Halloween time. And Pastor Dave goes, hey, the spirit, it's supernaturally super heavy. We're all going to pray in tongues for 10 minutes. It was my first service. And all of a sudden I felt this shift and I went, oh, people that get it, I'm here. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So
It's my tribe.
it was awesome because I was like, I don't feel like I'm isolated in this. People are talking about it. People are actually having conversations about this stuff. And the reason, one of the main reasons I ended up leaving as well was a friend of mine was getting into some dark magic stuff. And I never threw him out with bathwater. I went, hey, you should really be careful because you're opening up a door that you can't close because the more hands that get on that door, it's going to stop you from closing it. Oh, I'm fine. Well, then we're in service. And I tell the youth pastor, hey, be careful. Everyone's praying in tongues. I could feel the spirit moving. I said, be careful. Because the closer you get to the light, the greater your shadow becomes. And so what happens is as we get closer to God, the devil's going to come out and do whatever he can to stop it.
Right.
And it was practically revival. Like I could feel this intensity happening. And I look back at my friend, her eyes flip backwards, turn black, and she starts manifesting. I go, let's go. I grew up in this.
Right.
So I went, let's go. So I start praying for her, starts manifesting. And I'm like, okay, the pastors come to me. You don't know what you're talking about. We've got it. And as she's freaking out and convulsing, they picked her up, brought her to the pastor's office, which was across campus. And then for 8 hours, tried to negotiate with the demon. Not cast it out, negotiate with it. And that was one of the final nails in the coffin. And I was like, guys, this could have been 5 minutes. You literally have offended the family. You've hurt people. There ended up being scandals from stuff. And I was just like, guys, this is all very supernatural and you have no clue what you're really dealing with. So I was just like, okay, God. And that's when I kind of led into here and it kind of led everything forward. My oldest memory with deliverance, because I'm talking about deliverance, and I realized I didn't reference that. The church my parents were part of was deliverance churches. Okay. I think I was 6, and I remember somebody levitating, freaking out, speaking in demonic tongues. And I'm sitting there, and I'm playing Legos in the corner, and my Lego rolls under this person levitating, and I'm like, give me the Lego. Like I go over and I grab it and I sit there and I'm like, not today, Satan. And I like sat down by my Legos. Right. And so for me, it was always very real. I always noticed it. So there was a huge backing in that. So it wasn't like deliverance was new to me. I've known it for years. I grew up in it. So
which is interesting because Hollywood is always showing us this crazy, but it's because those are real experiences.
Real.
Right? I remember the first levitation I saw, I was like, I got down on the ground like, am I really seeing this? Because we put a blanket over this gal. And I'm like, oh, this is like, the magic show in Vegas or something.
Straight up.
No. When I got down on the floor and I could see the other side and I saw another brother who was praying, I was like, okay, this one's got some power.
Absolutely.
And so let's deal with this one.
Absolutely. And so being so used to seeing that stuff, it really was nothing new. But when I worked at the hospital, I started seeing it actively. So this is not me crapping on the medical field at all. I am a true believer that if you have an injury, you still need to go to a doctor and have somebody who knows more than you help you assess something. If that person says something that you don't agree with, go to another doctor until you find a doctor you agree with. That's called a second opinion. I've talked to people that have had 19 opinions if they found the doctor they liked. If you're not comfortable with something, don't submit yourself to it.
That's right.
Okay. Absolutely. It doesn't matter if it's spiritual. It doesn't matter if it's physical. That's just a general type of a thing.
Submission's like signing a contract.
Yes. You're going, I'm giving you permission, even though I could disagree with you because I'm not. My silence, the term silence is violence. It's something that was used in talking about the Me Too movement. Why did that become a manifesting thing? Well, because of supernaturally what was going on around the period. So there's a lot of kind of connecting dots. So being at the hospital, understanding that these medicines, pharmakeia, which we get the word pharmakeia for witchcraft, pharmacy. So there's some connecting dots. But I also started seeing how some people were getting better and some people were getting worse. And I started kind of talking with God going, I got questions.
Right.
What is going on here? And so that led me into a place. Where else are you able to be around sick people all the time? You can pray for them. They don't even know. Literally sitting there praying in tongues. Just under your breath. Cool. Being able to see people and get to honest answers, they're hurting. They're most vulnerable that they're ever going to be. And so I started seeing like, what's different about this person compared to this person? Oh, this person's bitter. This bitterness is actually killing them 10 times worse than this. They have the same disease.
Right.
Oh,
And
interesting.
this guy's getting well. This one, not so much.
Right.
Correct.
Wow.
And you could see it. And then I saw like, okay, God. And so God was kind of putting me through this. Well, witches, now I'm about to probably touch on something and someone's probably going to get really offended. Witches work in the medical field because they're close to you and you trust them. Okay. So for example, I learned about this ecosystem while I was there, and I got hurt many times physically in my body praying against stuff because of the supernatural craziness of it.
Yeah.
So what'll happen is, say you get sick and you're by yourself and you have a house. Well, your neighbor could be a witch and she could be cursing you.
Right.
And guess what she has? Oh, she's got a healthcare where she can come over your house as a CNA and she's going to be your certified assistant.
Yeah.
And she's going to help you medically as she's cursing you every day to die. And as she's doing that, you're giving her your car, your house, your assets.
Right.
And when you go to the hospital, she's there whispering in your ear what you need to do, whispering into your ear how you should be taken care of. And then all of a sudden, you get worse.
Yep.
And then you blame the disease.
Right.
You become bitter. You blame God. And you write, and I've seen it written in wills to the nurse. You bypass your family and you give the nurse, who literally spent her life cursing you,
Right.
all of your assets and everything that you have.
Because outwardly she seemed caring and loving and a listening ear. Here's something people need to know. If you allow somebody into your home, you give them access in the spirit to come into your home.
Absolutely. 100%.
Whether it's a witch, whatever, but you know, there's a lot of safeguards God's given us.
100%.
So they can't.
Yeah.
Right. I remember early in our spiritual journey, I would feel people in my room at night until I started covering my house with the blood.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And still I walked a perimeter and, you know, water, oil, and wine and just said, nope, this is a physical manifestation of what's going to happen in the spirit.
Absolutely.
The Gadar around my home is going to be
it.
so thick and there's angels going to stand guard at night. Guess what? The last 8 to 10 years?
Nothing.
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 Yeah, it has to have permission. It has to be able to get through.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so what I started seeing though is there was an ecosystem.
Yeah.
And there were nurses. And there were nurses that were witches that their patients never made it.
Did they know? Well, obviously they knew who you were in the
Oh,
spirit.
100%. And I would have to be sitting next to them.
Yeah.
So think about this. Professional environment. You know the person over there that's going, this person's coding. I have to show up on the code team. I'm praying in tongues, trying to keep this person alive. They're praying in tongues to curse this person to death.
Yeah.
So you face the level of warfare most people don't.
Yeah.
That was daily.
Wow.
That was daily, bro. That was absolutely daily.
Yeah.
And what happened was there ended up being a supernatural where all of a sudden God was like, let me take your tongue for you. Let me take it. And it became a total surrender where I was like, God, you're going to have to fight this fight. Where my idea of warfare now, if someone's like, can you pray for me? I'll pray once.
Yeah.
Well, can you pray? I'm not.
Right.
It's done.
It's done. It's
Now
unnecessary.
I went to the throne. I went, God, here's it. And I gave it to the King of Kings.
Yes.
And he went, okay, I got it.
Yes.
Whether you have subverted that request to the King of Kings, that's up to you. But I went on your behalf.
Right.
Yep.
I'm not going to ask him again.
Yeah.
I don't need to.
Right.
I trust him.
Right.
I've seen thousands of times when I ask, it happens.
Right.
So why would I then have such little faith
Yes.
that I need to ask him 1,000 times for this?
Right. And continue to pray about it. It's like, if you believe, that's faith, right?
Yes.
Now faith is the substance. Yeah. I was just reading this morning in 1 Peter 5, and it got me so jazzed up because that's where, you know, Peter's talking about, hey, cast all your anxieties and worries on the Lord.
Absolutely.
And I thought, how many times, and I tell people this in trauma healing and prayer, look, give that to the Lord.
Sure.
Just give it to him. Now, don't take it back. Don't dwell on it.
Yeah.
Don't go back in your memory and think about it and how you felt. Give it to the Lord. And then he goes on. It's amazing to me that Peter goes from cast it all to Jesus.
Yeah.
Because by the way, the devil is a roaring lion looking who he can devour.
Absolutely.
And people don't, they think of Satan and, oh, it's just ethereal and he's going to come in the spirit. No. He's going to use your neighbor. He's going to use your kid. He's going to, and he's going to roar. Well, what does a roar do?
Exactly.
Draws your attention.
100%.
Right? Now, all of a sudden, your attention is here. It's off of the Lord. I'm over here. Now you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now he can devour you through that situation or through that person or through that accident or whatever it is.
Yeah.
He will devour you by taking all of your energy, all of your attention.
Absolutely.
And putting it there. Rather than going, hey, Lord, You said you wanted it.
Yeah.
I give it to you.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And once I give it to you, I'm not taking it back.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give it to you.
Well, there are always scriptures in my mind that goes, if your earthly fathers have evil desires, still want to give you good things, how much more does your heavenly Father?
Right.
If the birds of the air,
Right.
if they don't have to worry about food, why are you worrying?
Right.
Like, you read the Psalms
Yep.
and just have comfort, because half of that is, God, I'm having to pretend to be crazy because of these people trying to kill me.
Right.
You're still good.
Right.
You're still good.
Because in these situations, it doesn't matter the circumstances,
Yeah.
as long as you can lean into God being your source.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And that's what it all comes down to. Who is your source?
Yep.
Right.
Who is the person that you go to when everything hits the fan?
Yes.
Right.
And so in the medical field, is it your doctor?
Right.
Mm.
Is
Right.
it the nurse?
Right.
Right. And so seeing the supernatural stuff, I was like, oh, okay. And so in this, I started seeing like this, like pretty much the system, this demonic system. I went,
Right.
Yeah.
got it. The medical field itself was not created to be evil. And a lot of people will be like, oh, no, it was
Right.
created specifically to help hurting people.
Yep.
Right.
But the demonic forces, dark magic, any of that stuff,
Infiltrated it.
Right.
they go, this is ours, and we're going to manifest it. Same thing with the church. The
Yeah.
church's intention is to bring, I bet you, Assemblies of God origins was, let's bring God into a good light.
Yes.
The orthodoxy has turned into, how can we
Right.
control people?
Right.
Right.
Bringing into iniquity. And so what I'm noticing is God's
Yep.
calling us to bring purity,
Yes.
pull things out of iniquity, which
Yes.
involves standing up to it.
Yep.
Shalom, authority over the authority of chaos, and going,
Mhm.
I
Yep.
refuse to let you be chaotic anymore.
Right.
This is done. And people don't realize it's a violent term, and it involves courage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so when people go, I really want to experience God, it's like, are you ready for a fight? Well, no, God, there's no fighting a God. I was like, no,
Yeah.
Buddhism, there's no fighting. That's
Right.
That's,
Right.
Yeah, that's
You can
peace.
become a Buddhist.
Yeah, sure, do that. But no, there's fighting, and
Yeah.
you're going to fight in your
Right.
soul.
Because you have an enemy. When you get in a relationship with God, his enemies become your enemies.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So now we have Satan, principalities, powers, rulers, all these
right.
demonic forces.
But those fights are over
Yeah.
because
Exactly.
there may be an enemy, but then he
Yes.
goes, nope, leave him alone. But you
Yep.
have to ask.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
we get into a spot where it goes, well, the pastor will pray for me, or this person or this guest speaker will pray for me. And then all of a sudden my life will be changed. And it's
Yeah,
works.
no.
So
Yeah.
I'll lean into this because I know we're going to be doing some crazy. I'm staying away from too much crazy right now.
Right. We'll get into that.
I wanna
We're
hit-
going to do a part 2.
Yes, I'm staying away from it. So if anybody's wondering why if this is already crazy, you're going to hate this next conversation.
Yeah. Don't watch the next episode.
So David Hogan was coming to GT. I never even heard of the guy, and everyone's like, "You don't know who David Hogan is?" I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And so I still had this part of me. There was this religious bone in me that went, the man of God. So something that's big in a lot of orthodoxy is the man of God.
Yep.
You need to ask the man of God, the man of God.
Right.
Okay, how is that different than Catholicism going to the priest for forgiveness?
Right.
Right.
You're going to the
Yep.
man of God, asking him
Yep.
for his authority that he got from sacrifice and war and submitting himself to God, and you're expecting him just to pray that over to you.
Yeah.
Right. And everyone goes, well, Elisha. I was like, well, Elisha was with Elijah for a very long time.
Right.
Like vastly
They
different.
ran together for
It is
years.
not a hey.
Right.
So that was something that I was raised in that, being like, pray for it. So
Right.
David Hogan came and I was like, oh man, he's raising the dead. I want that anointing. I'm working in the medical field. What's a better place to do that?
Oh, yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah.
This is perfect.
I can practice this all
Oh
the time.
my gosh, let's do it. That was part of my job, was taking dead bodies to the morgue.
Okay.
So there was a while I asked God, did this person go to heaven or hell? And God was like, I'm not giving you that answer. Stop asking.
Mm.
It's not for your soul to know. You will be hurt no matter
Yeah,
what
yeah,
the
yeah.
answer is.
Wow.
So I was like, okay. So coming, I was like, David Hogan's coming. Everyone's talking it up. So I go, the guy's incredible.
Yeah.
But he is so non-religious.
Yeah.
Oh, ridiculous.
There was an intimidation of like, oh, so
Right.
You want more of God? Come up here. So I go up there. And if you notice, he comes down, he starts praying for people, and then he goes to the left or the right and then walks out the door. He doesn't turn around.
Yeah.
This is the Hogan way.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. I've seen this many times.
Right?
Take
And
the
so-
right side.
He turns, and then my friends are like, he's coming this way. I was like,
Okay.
oh.
Good.
So then there was this like, okay, well, then I have to
Right,
posture myself.
this
He's coming. Whew, I got to pray. I got to make sure I'm like in the
Yeah.
spirit. The beacon's happening, so he knows to come and pray for me. So he comes up to me. He goes, what do you want? And I go, I just want more of God. And he goes, fire con Dios.
Yeah.
So everybody else he prayed for hit the floor because
Yeah.
the presence of God hit him so hard. I felt nothing.
Right.
Mm.
And I sat there with my eyes closed, and
Mhm.
I could feel a push in the spirit, because I could feel the spirit, but then my body was
Yeah.
Mhm.
not
Mhm.
happening. And I was like, am I
Mhm.
broken? So I sat down
What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Right,
And I went,
right.
and I got mad at God. I went, how dare you? I came here and I asked for power and you didn't. He goes, you didn't ask me for power.
There it
He
is.
goes, you went to this man. You asked him. He got his authority and power by trusting me and submitting himself to me. And you're expecting that just to be given to you?
Oh,
Right.
wow.
And then
Comes at a cost.
And then I wept. I
Yeah.
sat there and I wept and I repented from this idea that man could give me something that God was like, I have ordained this for you.
Right.
But it's through my time and my season so that your
Yeah.
maturity can make you who I've called you to be.
Right.
Yes.
And everybody wants to have it. I mean, imagine if all of a sudden you knew how to play piano perfectly, but there was no need for it. What was the point of giving you that information?
Right.
You're now wasting something, a talent, when there's somebody that goes trying every day and they're practicing and they become perfect through that practice. So I feel the same way with God. We're going, God, I just really want to be complete. But it's like, are you going to God? Are you having conversation with him? Are you having a relationship?
Right.
Or are you just going, he's my friend. Oh yeah, hey man. Yeah, I got a solid.
No, you got to go to the source, man.
Right. Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm going to wrap up this one there.
Okay.
Good place to
And
stop.
we'll come back. So Evie, you want to take us out?
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. It's been awesome having Joe here. Looking forward to part 2. Like and subscribe. See ya soon.
Toodles.
Toodles.